Senator Tim Scott of South Carolina, he stood up and gave his perspective, and he talked about, him growing up, in the South and how these things have changed and all of this. It was just simply way too much for Senator Cory Booker, and Booker just finally just had enough of it, and so it was quite interesting because it wasn't long until after Scott finished that Booker just jumped up and didn't even wait. And what you're seeing here, again, you're seeing Republicans do all they can to suggest that that voter suppression bills are not being passed. Well, actually, they are, and we know that, and we see that, and so I just want to show you some of the drivel of Tim Kelly, Senator Tim Scott. So just listen, check out what he had to say. If y'all got it, go ahead and roll it, folks. If y'all have it, because I just, I told y'all how I feel about listening to Senator Tim Scott. Go ahead and roll that.
As I listened to the president talk about the importance of stopping what he characterized as Jim Crow 2.0, I felt frustration and irritation rising in my souls as I keep hearing the references to Jim Crow. I asked myself how many Americans understand what Jim Crow was. I am so thankful that we are not living in those days. But just for those who don't appreciate the Jim Crow that was, it was a time when my grandfather, born in 1921, would have experienced it if he was still alive. He could tell the stories of the Jim Crow South and the Jim Crow era, an era where in order for a black person to vote, you had to pass a literacy test. Now, if you could read at that point, it would not just be a test on whether or not you could read. It would be a test on, do you know who your governor was 20 years before you were getting ready to vote? It would include the threat of being lynched, literally killed, because those in power wanted to stop black folks from realizing and fully participating in the greatest nation on earth and exercising what I believe is a fundamental responsibility and right of Americans, the right to vote. It would include beatings and the power of intimidation, the loss of your job if you dared to show up to vote. And so when I hear my president and your president, our president of these United States, just a little while ago, a week or so ago, talk about Jim Crow 2.0 and using as the poster child of this new Jim Crow South being the Georgia voting law, I rushed to read the law one more time so that I could understand what in the world is he talking about. Now, I'm here this afternoon, because I had a conversation with the South Carolina NAACP about 2 hours ago. And they encouraged me to come to the floor and make my comments as public as possible so that people understand what I have read in the Georgia law and compare it to the Jim Crow South. So what we know about the Georgia law, and I've read the law, what we know about the Georgia law is the controversy that the president spoke about and that we heard members of Congress speak about over the weekend is it is illegal to get water while waiting to vote. Now, that claim has been proven false. It is not illegal to get water while waiting in line. That is false. The only time you can't get water while waiting in line to vote, according to the Georgia law, is if there's a partisan, someone campaigning for someone, you can't bring them water. But if you are an election...
Pause. That's a lie. No, leave it right there. That's a lie. It won't even allow third-party individuals, nonpartisan groups, to actually hand out water. They don't want people being able to access food and then dealing with water because they like those very long lines. Go ahead and run, Senator Tim Scott. Go ahead and run more lines.
Or a relative, you can, of course, bring the person water. So that was completely false. But if that is the threshold of the new Jim Crow era, it looks nothing like the past. However, even that is false. What else is in that Georgia law that is supposedly the poster child of voter suppression? It allows for early voting, to include now the souls to the polls, where you have Sundays where you can vote early. As a matter of fact, 17 days of early voting, more early voting than the president's own home state or New York. It allows for mail-in ballots without an excuse. The same thing that was turned down by the voters in New York.
Okay, pause. What Senator Tim Scott did not say is that the Georgia law stipulates that, again, I can drop off my ballot, but if I have a loved one, a mother or father or a grandmother or grandfather, I cannot drop off their ballot in the ballot drop box. He also did not say that at Georgia has reduced. They had more than 110, 120 ballot drop boxes. They reduced that to under 30. He conveniently left that out. Y'all go ahead.
No excuse. On demand mail-in ballots is now the law in Georgia. New drop boxes. That pre-pandemic, it was not legal to have a drop box in Georgia. Now it is legal to have a drop box in Georgia. And voter ID, supported by at least 60% of African Americans, 60% of Hispanics, 60% or more of the majority population. After going through point by point and realizing in South Carolina the minority turnout was stronger than the overall turnout in South Carolina, and 2 of the 3 African-American senators in the United States Senate today, 2 of us, represent those southern states. It's hard to deny progress when 2 out of 3 come from the southern states that people say are the places where African-American votes are being suppressed.
Wait a minute. He is literally trying to include Pastor Raphael Warnock in his speech, the same Raphael Warnock who has consistently spoken out in favor of passing this bill. That was a bunch of bullshit you just heard from Senator Tim Scott.
Back to that Roland Mark Unfiltered video in just one moment.
Time to be smart.
Roland Martin's doing this every day.
Oh, no punches!
Thank you, Roland Martin, for always giving voice to the issues.
Look for Roland Martin in the whirlwind, to quote Marcus Garvey again.
The video looks phenomenal, so I'm really excited to see it on my big screen.
Support this man, Black Media. He makes sure that our stories are told.
See, this difference between Black Star Network and Black-owned media and something like CNN.
I got to defer to the brilliance of Dr. Carr and to the brilliance of the Black Star Network.
I am rolling with Roland all the way.
Honored to be on a show that you own. A black man owns the show.
Folks, Black Star Network is here.
I'm real revolutionary right now. Roland was amazing on there.
Stay black. I love y'all.
I can't commend you enough about this platform that you've created for us to be able to share who we are, what we're doing in the world, and the impact that we're having.
Let's be smart. Bring your eyeballs home.
You can't be black-owned media and be scared.
You dig?